Welcome to Lakeshow Podcast. It's a weekly deep dive into the biggest stories and topics surrounding the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm Allie Clifton, Spectrum SportsNet co-host. Right across from me, Christopher McGee.
Hi.
We're 6 feet apart. About 6,000 feet apart.
Because we got 2020 Brez up there.
We do. Brez, where are you at?
Where are you, buddy?
Believe it or not, I am at one of the nicest hotels in Dallas. Not a lot of lighting in the room, though. Not a lot of camera options here. So we're trying to do the best that we can.
I would never guess that you're at a 5-star hotel right now.
Yeah,
I would
either.
never guess that.
I'm not in a hostage situation. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine.
Everything's good.
But just kind of staking out my corner in the hotel room here, though.
What's the weather like in Dallas?
Freezing. There's like some crazy Arctic blast that's coming down from north. It's going to be in the low 20s tonight. So I will not be leaving the hotel. I have a feeling the team will not be leaving the hotel either until they have to tomorrow, especially if they packed LA area clothing, because it is very cold out here right now. Historically, maybe.
Got a buddy in Kansas. We used to coach together back in the days, like one of my first bosses right out of college. He lives in Kansas now. He has for years and stuff. And he calls me coach. I call him coach. He texted me today. He said, "What's the weather like there, coach?" I was like, looked at my phone. It's like 66 or something, 67. It's actually a pretty nice day. We got a little offshore breeze. Blue skies today. He wrote, "It's 1." And I said, "What is 1?" And he sent a picture. He and his son they had a blizzard yesterday in Kansas.
Wow.
And 6 feet of snow. And I'm just like, God, I go, what would I do? He goes, you would have no idea what to do.
That would be amazing.
I mean, it would be a full Captain Panic.
To put a camera on Geeter, shoveling snow.
I would just sit inside, I think, and just enjoy myself, right?
But you would need to get out. You need to go places. You would need to go out and shovel.
No, if the blizzard was coming,
snowblower.
man, I would get the food. I would hunker down. Can you have great snowball fights like that?
Oh, yeah. You can make snow angels. You can go sledding.
But I wouldn't go to work. Sick day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
However, in the Midwest, those of us that know, you gotta have at least a foot of snow for things to get canceled because we're prepared.
Yeah, I got you.
You know? Yeah. We got snow trucks, snow plows.
Enjoy the cold weather, Brez.
You know, Geet, I was just thinking, who would I like to après ski with the most? And I think, Geet, you've always been the life of the party. I think you'd be a really fun guy to have some brandy with after skiing in the lodge there. Maybe pass the sushi tray around.
Do I have to have brandy?
This is your beverage of choice.
I love a lodge. I got to be honest. Like, that's the best part of being in the snow, right?
Yeah.
Lodge with a cocktail, right? The fire, good food.
Fire.
Yeah.
You don't want a little snifter? You don't want a little,
a little. I mean, you know what? You know what,
yeah.
Brez? You have your little brandy, and I'm going to do an old-fashioned. How's that? An old-fashioned, okay?
Perfect.
What about Aperol?
Perfect.
Can we get an Aperol spritz up here?
You could do that.
Yeah.
Allie's in too.
Yeah.
Allie, how do you après ski? Are you good at it?
Oh, yeah. I'm very good at it. I'm also good at it while I'm going down the mountain. Before, during, and after.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to see that you're able to join us from Dallas, Brez, as we dive into the Lakers. A tough one last night.
Lost.
Yeah.
Good team.
Great team.
It's actually a really good game.
It was.
I mean, they fell down by what, 22, and that was not that fun. But
yeah,
I thought at that point, like, they couldn't buy a basket, and the Rockets couldn't miss. So it happened really quickly. It was like 19-17 Lakers, and then it went to 22. But they were able to kind of battle back in, and actually the second half was a great game.
What was the mood like in Houston?
You know, it was really bizarre. A lot of Laker fans there, and I know we say that a lot. We are the Laker broadcast partner after all. But I don't remember this contingent of Laker fans ever being in Houston before. Kind of weird. So the first half, Laker fans totally dead. And they were all in one end of the arena for some reason. And then the comeback started happening and people started like cheering. I would say there are almost more people cheering for like a LeBron fadeaway or an Anthony Davis bucket than there were for like Jalen Green was amazing last night. And there was probably more tepid applause for him than it was for anything the Lakers did. So you could sense the momentum coming. Lakers caught him. But then that last 30 seconds or so, just a few too many miscues. You had the inbounds pass that was intercepted. LeBron said afterwards, "Hey, I was trying to call a timeout because I realized that Max Christie was running out of time." Then you got that weirdo foul on AD after LeBron hit the three with about 5 or 6 seconds left. Just a couple of things did not go their way. I thought if I'm a Laker, I was encouraged. The locker room seemed, they're never going to celebrate a loss, but they seemed better than I thought for having clawed all the way back from 22 down to tying it and eventually losing to a really good young team that has indeed arrived before anyone thought they would.
I was going to say in the post-game show, when we aired JJ's press conference, there was also some B-roll. And obviously the officials' thoughts to JJ and to Braun, as both told in the post-game, were that he was looking at the inbounder. And it's funny because that B-roll aired at the same time that JJ was asked that question, and he was. The official was looking at Max when LeBron called the timeout. Yeah. Now, I don't know how that normally goes.
It really, for me, too, it was the last couple minutes of that game, like maybe the last 3.5. I mean, they hit, I want to say they hit, I think I had it in my nose, but at one point they were 4 for 4 down the stretch and what I thought were crucial possessions. And
Jalen Green's jumpers down the stretch, too.
Who else had one? I forget. Şengün hit one kind of over the shoulder, and Cam Whitmore maybe. I don't know if I forget. But they hit a couple of huge shots. I think the dagger for me was just the way the game was going was Lakers are down 2. Maybe after that 83, you get the timeout. You get the trap and Jalen Green in the corner, and it's LeBron coming over the trap. So Amen Thompson is unguarded and just happens to be right in that spot. And AD's boxing out Şengün, and Jalen Green misses by 3 feet. If that goes anywhere else, if you look at the replay, Lakers are kind of boxed out and in better positions, but it just happens to be flying in the air. And, he just gets up there and dunks it. And, instead of 2, it's 4. And then they go up 7, and the Lakers get it back down to 3. It had that flow to it where the Rockets just were, man, they made big-time plays in the last few minutes of that game.
I agree with you, Brez, in terms of just
LeBron foul too, Allie, right? The LeBron down low foul.
The AD foul?
Yeah.
AD foul.
Yeah. The way of what you said about you don't celebrate a loss, Brez, but necessarily the feeling inside the locker room, because listening to LeBron, I thought he seemed very encouraged, which I think can be a good sign in a sense. But when you also think of it, Lakers are handling teams that they're supposed to handle, i.e. those above 500. Just 7-11, though. Excuse me, below 500. Yeah. 7-11 versus teams above 500. Is there a concern there?
Yeah, for sure. For me, there is. It's not. I'm not banking on it. I do talk to people about it a lot, friends, because they'll bring that up to me, because I actually truly believe Lakers are playing such better basketball over the last a month.
Yep. December 15th.
Yes. And I think they've changed the way they approach the games defensively, the lineup. I like the trade and the fit. I think their effort's been great. Like last night's easily a game that they could have got blown out. So the effort-wise is there, scheme-wise is there. It does bother me that teams ahead of them, they're just not picking off, and they just want to see a couple of big wins. I want to get that win against OKC or a ball. I think they just need it.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to beat Dallas. I know they're struggling, but they'll be ready to play. But they got to start winning some of those games, and that's because that's how you really climb up. The standings, right? Like for the Lakers, if you win those games that you should win, those teams below 500, and you win the majority of those games, you're going to hover around that 7-6 spot for sure. But I think to move up above the line and be solidified there and be considered one of those top 8 teams, East and West, put together, right? Top four. You have to win those games. You have to be better than that. 500, a little better than 500, but 7-11 is just not going to cut it.
I was looking because obviously going into the game yesterday, the Mavericks were just behind the Lakers in that 6th spot. And as of right now, obviously stays the same, correct?
Yeah.
Sitting both at 20 and 15. But with the news of obviously no Luka already been out, but then that news coming today from Shams about Kyrie and the bulging disc reevaluated in 1 to 2 weeks. Obviously he's not going to be playing now.
You have to win this game.
You have to, right?
I mean, I said it last night on the postgame show, Brez and Allie, hey, listen, you lost to Houston. It was a well-fought game. It was a battle. It didn't feel like the Atlanta loss at Atlanta, the Orlando loss at home, losing to Detroit. It felt like, hey, we battled, we lost. They made some plays down the stretch. Ball didn't bounce our way. We got a couple of rough calls. Didn't go our way. We battled, but we're done. But Dallas, you have to win. Now you're 1-1. You come home and you feel pretty good. And Brez has pointed out a lot of times on our shows that home stretch you have a lot of games where you feel like you could maybe go on a run. Yeah. So you come back 1-1 from Dallas, Houston. I feel good about it.
You feel good about it. Brez?
Yeah, I agree. It's funny talking with 4 players last night in the locker room after the game. I think they were all asked at the time, hey, you're going to be playing Dallas in a couple of days. No Luka. And that was before today's news that also there's no Kyrie. So you're looking at, Klay Thompson will be out there. We'll see what he can bring. You're looking at our old friend. There's a couple. You got Grimes back there from New York. And then, a couple guys that one used to be a Laker. God, blank on his name. He was the guard, Spencer Dinwiddie. Excuse me. Spencer Dinwiddie, Laker for like 10 minutes last year. So it's not going to be the most certified Dallas team. Let's put it that way. I mean, the Lakers should be heavy favorites on the road. By heavy, I mean probably 6-7 point favorites. I just don't know. Hey, Dallas has three good, actually, big men that could still cause trouble. But that backcourt, the Lakers should be able to just exploit offensively and defensively, period.
Perez, can I just say this? Obviously, in sports, I'm more than okay getting a break or two and playing a team that's downtrodden because it's always going to happen to you as well. I just hate these games, though, going into them. It's like no Kyrie, no Clay, no Luka. Now you absolutely have to win that game, and guys are going to step up. They're going to play well. It's going to be a weird game. It'd be nice to go and blow them out, but I just don't think that's going to happen. It's still going to be a tough game, no matter who plays.
But I agree with you. Coming home 1-1 is going to be key. You got the next 5 at home, but you play every other day. You got Charlotte, San Antonio.
Yep.
Miami. We know what's going on there. You got Brooklyn. And then, you're actually at LA for 6 because you got the Clippers.
You legit 5-1 is possibility there. I don't think that's asking too much.
I agree.
5-1, 5-1 in those 6 at home.
Yeah, you're in LA for
I know I'm looking ahead,
weeks. It's crazy. They got. You're right, Keith. They got to capitalize.
Got to capitalize. I mean, listen.
Yeah.
Last year in January, they did not capitalize.
No.
And it put them so behind the 8 ball, and the schedule was all set up. This year, it's the same thing. It's all set up, but I think it's a better team. I think they're playing better than they were last year, and I believe they're going to go on a nice little run here. I really do.
We shall see. We love the optimism, that is for sure. And they're giving us reasons to obviously believe that. Changing gears for just a little bit, for a moment. We celebrated this in the pregame show. I know yesterday, Magic Johnson getting awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Of course, one of the highest honors any United States civilian could be given. Bryce, you did an awesome tribute to that in the pregame show.
It was really cool. I mean, just hearing about it and seeing Magic's reaction on his social media, where he basically acknowledged, this is overwhelming. And rarely can you ever say in his entire life, on and off the court, can you say that Magic Johnson was actually overwhelmed by something?
Right.
I mean, this is an award that went to 19 people, including Lakers superfan Denzel Washington, by the way. And there's a variety of reasons why the president, before his term ends, can choose to give these awards. It can be for someone who's done a great great help for national security. It can be a political reason. It can be someone who's done a lot of civic duty. There's just politics, which I already mentioned, sports, entertainment, civil rights. And he chose Magic. Obviously, Magic retired over 30 years ago and announced that he had HIV. And since then, he's just been an absolute advocate for HIV and AIDS prevention. Not to mention a huge philanthropist in so many different areas of the world. And Allie, I did mention this on the pregame show yesterday. You and I have known Magic for a long time. He is absolutely the template for what athletes, not just NBA, but NFL, MLB, NHL, what they can do once their playing career has ended.
Yeah.
And it's often very difficult for these guys. It can be depressing. You're no longer playing in front of these arenas with 20,000 people or stadiums with 70,000 people in the NFL or whatever. Now you have to figure out your own way. And doors aren't open for you like they were when you were a player. Magic has absolutely helped ex-players out finding their way in the business world because he himself was really the pioneer for that type of thing.
Yeah, well said.
Agreed.
Yeah, well said.
Big game lit up when we talked about it. Fish was moved to emotion thinking about it and just what Magic has meant to him. So obviously, indeed, congratulations to Magic Johnson on that award. We're going to take a quick break, but when we return, it's a round of Bucket or Brick.
Bucket or Brick?
Brick.
Hey, Bucket or Brick.
Welcome back to the Lakeshow podcast. If you're enjoying the show, you can check out more original podcasts from our Spectrum News journalists on the Spectrum News app. Just head to the podcast section to listen to the latest episodes. You can download the Spectrum News app on the App Store or Google Play. Time now for a round of Bucket or Brick. And we begin with some news surrounding Miami. This is fun. Bucket or Brick. Jimmy Butler will be traded to a contender. It's getting spicy.
Tender.
In Heatland.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
What do we define contender? Like top what?
I'd say top 4. Top 3 or top 4 is my thought.
Okay. I'm going to brick it just because I just don't see a top 3 or top 4 team like an OKC. I don't know, Boston. I just don't see those teams giving up the assets that they have for a guy that could come in and try to change how you play. Those teams that are contenders for a reason. They have, I don't know, but I can see them going to a mid playoff team.
Yeah.
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 For sure.
Am I right on that? 3 or 4
Yeah.
is a contender?
Contenders, a team that can contend for a title.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Brez?
I'm with Geet on this. I'm going to brick it. Like, I don't see Boston breaking up their nucleus to acquire Jimmy Butler, who, by the way, has a player option for next season, over $50 million. That's really going to impact your cap space, guys. I mean, that's a lot of money. Geet, I'm with you. Maybe like a Phoenix takes a stab at another old guy. Maybe he's the one that can turn whatever's going on there around.
Yeah, I can see him as a rental, right, Brez? But but not on like a top team that's already established. And
yeah, I agree.
Because you got to give up. Don't you have to match his salaries and picks and all that stuff? I just don't see how you do that.
Yeah, get really close to it. Yeah. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
Wow. All right, the Thunder on a 15-game win streak, but they lost in the NBA Cup final in the middle of that streak. Okay. Oh, so that's what it is. I was like, they played 15 games since the Cup. It didn't count. That game didn't count. Okay. Number 2, bucket or brick. OKC's 15-game win streak is legitimate even with a loss. Thank you, in the NBA Cup. No, it's not. It's not legitimate.
Unfortunately.
According to the rules.
By the way, bucket. That was an unbelievable bucket by me.
That was.
Because it was an angry throw. It still went in from 8 feet. The game doesn't count. I can't do it anymore. I've talked about it at length. Doesn't count.
I still talk about 80s 40-20 game.
I know. But like it doesn't go into the books. It's stupid.
I was literally thinking about that.
I want that game to count. I really do, because I like that game. I want it to count.
Yeah.
But it didn't count, so it doesn't count on the record.
Brez?
Yeah, I mean, it's silly. Like, yeah, it should count. You're right. That's why I have the play-in tournament way up here and the NBA Cup down here. I mean, it's just not even close. I mean, the play-in tournament's so much more exciting. Teams' livelihoods are at stake. And then you have this weird 3-4 week slowly moving tournament that I'm still trying to figure out.
So you're bricking it?
So you're saying the loss doesn't count? Okay, yeah. I think he's bricking it. Yeah, he's bricking it.
I'm with you, Keith. I'm bricking it.
Is every bucket or brick sponsored in this? Or
a lot of bricks.
JJ Redick spoke last week saying he does not want to be part of a good team. He wants to be a part of a great team. Bucket or brick, the Lakers have the roster to be a great team. Brez?
I'm going to bucket this, and I'll tell you why. I thought LeBron was really interesting about a week ago when he was asked, basically, how good can this team be? I believe it was right after they got Dorian Finney-Smith and Shake Milton. And he said, you know what? We're not a championship team right now. But we've got time on our side. And we have a nice running start before the trade deadline with these 2 new pieces. Dorian Finney-Smith, by the way, who is starting to play pretty well with this team, hit a couple threes last night in Houston. I think LeBron and JJ are onto something. Like, this team's good, but it could be great. They probably need one more piece. I do still like the Dorian Finney-Smith deal a lot, but they're not there yet. They could be great though. They really could be.
Allie, you're up.
I agree with everything he just said. You know why? Because he specified that I said could be great.
Yeah, I'm gonna go bucket.
Yeah.
What is happening?
Wow.
Just training shots. They're good right now, not great. I just had this conversation with some people, and they were asking about the team. And I said, they're a good basketball team right now. They are not great. They're a good team. So enjoy them, but can they be great? Yeah, they can get there.
Do you wake up every morning and have conversations about Lakers? Like, what time does that start?
Well,
is it before you put the cream in your coffee? Is it on your walk with Zeffie while she's taking a SHIT?
No,
like,
it depends.
What's happening?
Like, this morning there was some back and forth dialogue because one of the guys just saw the J.J. Charles thing, so I had to jump in because I didn't really like the direction that was going. Then that leads to a side text, and someone else asked me, and then somebody wrote there's a 10-man chain, and guy sent this article in the New York Times about how the Lakers are playing good basketball. New York Times was kind of like, hey, the Lakers are actually in a good spot.
Oh, thank you.
And
New
one
York
guy, and
Times.
so I had to go in and Jovan wrote it. Sorry, it's from The Athletic.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to back that up. And then I'm on the bike here a little bit ago at the gym, and the guy comes up to me, and we start talking about all the rating stuff and all that stuff. So I had to back into that one. That took 15 minutes on the bike before he let me go. So yeah, that was 4 or 5 combos today.
Wow.
Yeah, it's daily. It's exhausting.
Was your heart rate higher than 64?
64.
Stayed the
Because
entire
at the end of the day, I
time.
don't give a crap what that guy thinks at the gym. But
Dead.
but yeah, it definitely rises above 64 when I'm going.
Yeah.
Because you're like,
Especially when you have conversations with Richard
yeah,
about the Lakers.
and just there's a lot of dumbass opinions out there. So like when it comes from my friends, like I have to tell them like, it's just like I want to respect everyone's opinions, and I
Yeah.
do, but like
Sometimes.
yeah, sometimes like dude, you're just a casual opinion, or you're just
Barney's.
following a narrative, or think for yourself, brosif.
Leave it off the chain,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Dorian Finney-Smith scored 13 points against the Rockets in 3 games played with the other Lakers starters. They have a plus 57.7 net rating. Bucket or brick, Dorian Finney-Smith will replace Rui Hachimura in the starting lineup. Brez?
I'm going to bucket this, actually, and it's numbers. I mean, it goes back to the last 6 years. Dorian has been a starter in 95% of the games he's played. And I understand Rob Pelinka acquiring him and maybe talking about it with J.J. Redick and the coaching staff, as in we don't have to plug him in right away to being a starter. But I have a feeling, if the Lakers, if they get on a little bit of a losing streak, and I'm not even sure like 2 games is a losing streak. Say they lose to Dallas, do they push all these panic buttons? I don't think so. But I do think eventually Dorian will replace Rui in the starting lineup.
See, it's kind of an open-ended and I like how Brez, he bucketed it because eventually it can happen. I think it happens like Brez said, like if things are going poorly. So I don't want to go there because
That's like a shot that goes in and comes right back out.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to brick it because
Okay.
I think they're going to be with Rui here for a while because I think they're going to play well in January. I can't miss Brez.
Justin, can you come please alter the basket?
I wake up, I'm a bucket, I piss excellence. It's just what happens.
Oh my God.
So I think I go with Rui for now, and I'm going to just stay on that path. But I do think Brez has a great point, and eventually there could be a change, yes. But
Can we please get that clip, just the part where he says that he's a walking bucket and he pisses excellence?
Yeah.
And me,
clip a Kalo, they say,
please.
in the business.
Thanks. I have some
Clip it.
thoughts about that. It's a new year, which means resolutions.
Oh, crap.
Haven't done
Bucket
any.
or brick,
Those
you
are
are
so
still on track with your New Year's resolutions. What are your New Year's resolutions? We went into an in-depth conversation before we wrapped this thing up with JJ about his becoming a better tennis player.
What's JJ's?
Becoming a better tennis player.
JJ Redick?
Yeah, he wants to.
When is he going
be
to play
better
tennis?
in his with his 1-15 record in the tennis tournament that he and his wife are a part of in the summer.
Okay.
Good.
What else did he say?
Yeah.
I know that was one of them. He wants to stay in shape. He needs to lose weight. He played at 196. He's at 204 right now.
Got it. It's a good one.
And yeah, that's where it kind of ends for me. So what's your New Year's resolution?
I have 2.
You have 2. You're
I
a
do.
New Year's guy, okay?
Because I feel like I'm in a good place in things in my life
Oh, I love
with
that.
working out and all that stuff, keeping myself right. But there's 2 things that I need to do more that I think will make me happier. I'm not joking, Allie. You know what? I'm not going to say them. Brez, go ahead.
No,
You're laughing
I
at-
need them.
Well, you can't leave us there and her.
No one cares. We'll
I
do it
need
next
them.
episode.
I do care.
Honestly, everyone just wants to get off the air.
No, that is not true. We are now waiting.
Justin, do you give a rat's ass?
Yes.
These guys just want to leave. Like, they're so bored.
Would you finish the
Okay,
shot?
you were so. Now I miss. I want to get in the water more.
Oh,
Okay,
okay. What
Okay.
water?
Ocean.
Pacific
surfing.
Blue.
Yeah,
Okay.
Big Blue surfing, and I want to play a little more volleyball. I just haven't played in a long time. Barely played it all this summer.
Okay.
Yeah, so 2 things I'd like to do that make me happy, and I just haven't done them much.
Got it. Okay, those are great. Brez?
Allie, were you yawning during those?
Yes.
I thought we were intrigued.
She wanted me to come up with like a funny, and she
I
thought it was
laughing
going to be like
so hard that I was struggling with oxygen. So
man.
I was trying to gain my oxygen
fire,
back.
dude.
Allie, I feel like your resting heart rate is like 48 right now.
Yeah.
It's really getting.
What are your New Year's resolutions?
I did a deep dive in this just on the flight out here a couple days ago. New York Times has been hammering away at it. Reducing ultra-processed foods. They're just not very good for us. And now that I know what they are, I mean, Allie, you are probably the most nutrition-conscious person I've ever met in my life. Like, you really pay attention to what you eat, what you drink. I feel like I need to be a little bit better that way. Not that I have a horrible diet and I'm eating at fast food joints 2 times a day, but I might be turning around in my chair, coming, looking at you at your desk and just kind of seeing what you're eating. And I might show you what I'm eating and if it meets the Allie criteria for a healthy food, because
That's a good one,
I thought
Brez.
these cereals, what was that?
That's a good one, man. Get off that crap.
Yeah. Yeah, like I thought all these cereals I was eating were decent. Yogurts.
You did? No.
Yeah.
No.
No, it's bad. No.
Tricks are for kids. They're not. Those aren't good. Lucky Charms, dude. Come on. This isn't 82.
Dude, I haven't had Lucky Charms in forever, but if you put a bowl in front of me right now, I would scarf.
What was like your go-to? What was like your go-to cereals that you have to cut out?
There's one called Great Grains. That sounds good. I actually haven't looked at the label yet.
Yeah.
But the
Great
bottom line,
Grains?
Never heard of it in my life. What is this guy
That sounds
talking
like
about?
fertilizer we
Brez.
feed the
I got-
beans
I
in the
got
field when
Brian.
I was a child.
And Justin, and they are like, "What is this guy talking? Great Grains that's a cereal that you're into, that you're bummed on."
it sounded good.
I thought the guy was going to say like, "Oh, Fruit Loops and like Fruity Pebbles."
Fruity Pebbles. Honeycomb. Apple Jacks.
All right,
Cinnamon
give us
Toast
more.
Crunch.
This is too
What?
good. Give us more. Give us more. Give us
Oh,
more.
grape nuts
And
are my
there's
jam.
a
Grape
granola
nuts,
from,
dude. Grape nuts are
there's a
great.
granola from Costco. I have to look and see if that's worth continuing to eat too.
Well, I'm
'Cause
telling you what,
here's-
Trainer just said he looked it up, our producer, and he said he's never seen this box in his life. So I'm going to tell you right now, don't think it's good. I think you got to let it go. I think you got to click. I got to
Look,
click.
it's got great and grains in the title, on the box. Like, it's not good.
God.
And actually, the New York Times, their thing is, if you can't make it in your kitchen, what are you eating? So actually, the fewer the number of ingredients that are on your label or whatever it is you're eating, the better. The better.
Yeah.
So
that's a fact. You're
you know how
just
many
learning this
ingredients-
now?
Wow.
I've read it and I've read it.
But now you're paying
and
attention.
Now I'm embracing it.
Yeah, I got you,
Now,
Brez. That's a good
now
one.
it's part of me.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
and
that was
I still look at
Great
the-
grains.
I still look at the Great Grains label just to see what's in it, but I'm a little nervous.
But you're
We'll see.
still, what about peanut M&Ms and ice cream? You're still going to enjoy the good stuff, right? Red wine?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't care what's on a red wine label. I'm still going to be consuming.
All right, I'd love to hear that. Allie, what about you? Brez
I
gave you a
don't
good
think
one.
there is a label on a red wine.
What's your
bottle.
New Year's resolution?
Good. Keep that way.
My New Year's resolution is to be where my feet are, which means grounded, present, stop thinking about what's ahead, stop dwelling on what's in the past, be present, stop disassociating, because I'm really good at that. Have you ever talked to me, Geeter, and I'm just not paying attention? Lights on, nobody's home?
Like
Yeah.
daily.
Trying to work on being better with that.
It's hard, all that stuff.
I'm trying not to oversleep,
Oh.
trying to
You can do that?
rise the blinds in the morning. Yeah, like 12 to 14 hours a night.
Whoa.
Like what
So I'm
time?
trying
Getting
to
up at what
get up-
time?
I'm trying to do 7 to
You
8
were rest-
hours versus
Like you don't
12
sleep
to
till
14.
like 10 ever.
I don't.
Do you?
Like 1.
How is that possible? Does
I-
light come in and like?
No, I
Nothing?
just said open the blinds.
Oh, okay.
I am like a dungeon. Those are my
That
two big
sounds
ones.
amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I slept
where
till
my feet are and
8:45
stop
the other day.
sleeping
It was
too
a
much.
record.
Maybe start going to work out. Oh, I do have my challenge that I do. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's a New Year's resolution though. But I have a challenge every
Okay,
January
good.
that I do. So it's 30
Proud of you
straight days of
guys.
working out. So 30 days of
Okay.
working out.
You guys
My
have great
birthday
ones.
is on the 30th, so I turned 37. So it's 1 mile run a day
Ooh.
with 37 push-ups, squats, triceps, single leg kickbacks, and a 30-second plank times 3.
Wow. What
yeah.
about a dry January? Anybody?
No.
Okay.
That's kind of white.
Too tough with the net.
Pass.
We got the college football going on. We got the semis and then the championship game.
No.
Ohio State could be in it. You never know. Then you got the NFL playoffs. It's too tough in January. It should be like dry March. Yeah, February, 28 days. Let's go.
Try February. Unless it's a
You know
leap year.
what?
I don't think there's any good
February, you
month.
have just the Super Bowl. If you could get through that.
You could go through the entire calendar
Yeah.
year. There is no.
I know.
There's no good month for that.
Yeah, because then there's March
Because
Madness.
in April, you got to get yourself through the spring to get to summer, which
April,
means you got to
Easter is a
drink.
big. Easter's just a complete rage off for me. So like that, I can't do that. Yeah, but if you're
June,
sleeping
it's
12
May
to
gray
14
here, so you're just freaking in the dumps the
How do
entire
you sleep
time.
14? No, you never slept 14 hours. Never, ever, ever, ever. No way.
5 days out of the week. 4 days out of the week.
If you add up my sleeps on back-to-back nights, I don't get the 14 hours. If you add up
14,
both
Brez.
nights, I don't get-
That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot, Brez.
I've got
I
14 since
averaged
8th grade.
12 to 14
envious.
hours, 4 days a week.
What do you think LeBron sleep? Is LeBron a good sleeper, do you think? Like, does LeBron, because Kobe never slept, right? Kobe didn't sleep. Like, he was up early, Kobe. He was up at weird hours. Like, you think LeBron is like, lay the head down, I got to get my rest, or is it like, is his wheels always turning?
You're talking about LeBron. Geeter, you call me before the ass crack of dawn sometimes, like 7 a.m.
I just think
I'm
everyone's
like,
up.
what are you doing up that early?
I just thought everyone was up there. Like, who's sleeping? Like, how are you doing that? Like, don't you hear the trash trucks and the kids are running around?
I mean, 1 p.m. is a lot.
Blender's going.
When I open the blinds and I'm like, the sun's shining already?
Wait, you've watched my dog before. Does my dog let you sleep?
Oh, that's why Zeffy is the best. Because Zeffy will let me sleep till like 9. She won't even move.
But then she will get irritated.
And then I'll
'Cause
go
she-
and I'll tap her. And
Yeah,
I'll be
'cause
like,
she wants
should we
to-
go outside?
yeah,
No,
she
she
wants-
doesn't move though.
She
You
would
know
lay
that,
there
right?
all day with you.
Yeah. She'll live with me. Yeah. But I'm like, she probably has to pee.
This is great stuff.
Great grains and Zeffy sleeping till 9. Brez, you want to go get
Brez,
dinner?
go get dinner. Sorry, man.
Freezing cold Dallas.
I'm going to go eat some dinner. Going to have a little sushi.
You're on the show tonight too, right?
I am.
2020
I am.
Brez with Mark Medina.
Wait, he is?
Yeah.
Oh, we are really doing 2020.
No, he's going to do the show.
Oh, yeah.
Are you going to put on a tie?
No, he doesn't have to put on a tie. If you do that,
No,
I
I
will
won't.
seriously never have you on the show
Just
again.
the tie. Just the tie.
Just the tie.
And on that note, Brez, we'll see you in a hot
Brez,
minute.
if you sit
Thanks to all of
alone in
you.
your
If I do
hotel
any
room
sake bombs, you
with a
never know.
suit and tie, you will be the biggest Barney. Please do not.
We should do the
that.
show right now so he could go to dinner.
Please
Thanks
do
to you
not
for
do that.
listening to the Lakeshow podcast. If you like what you hear, leave us a rating or review on your favorite podcast app. We want to hear from you. Send us your questions. Hit us up on X at Allie Clifton at Keeter39. Mike_Bresnahan. Until next week. Great grains, everyone.
Great grains.
Did you know there's a new way to watch your favorite team, and it's available exclusively to Spectrum customers this season? You can watch Lakers games on Spectrum SportsNet Plus with the NBA app on us when you add internet and at least one mobile line. This offer is a slam dunk total value of $194.99. To learn more, head to spectrum.com/getlakers.